from Mr. Wonderful. He's stealing bad and beautiful.
Hiya! Penguin Truth here, and it's time for more Otaku Evolution. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and contribute to the Patreon. It occurred to me after finishing the first part of my Zeta Gundam review that I hadn't let on why I actually like the series. Kind of a big oversight, huh? But don't worry, there's a method to my madness. I mean, that's what part 2 is for after all. For one thing, I'm a big fan of the mechanical designs of the show. Most of the designs were done by Kuniya Okawara, with additional work by Kazumi Fujita and Mamoru Nagano. I like a lot of the transforming suits. It adds a new dimension to the mecha. It makes sense, as Zeta is the evolution of the concept of Gundam, so too are the mobile suits in it the evolution of the concept of mobile suits. Some of my favorite mobile suits include, of course, the Zeta Gundam itself, which cuts an impressive figure. The Hyakushiki, which is amusingly gaudy, Amuro's ugly duckling, the Dije, and, well, pretty much any Shiroko design MS. I mean, wow, Shiroko is great at designing mobile suits. The Masala, the Palace Athene, the Bolonok Salmon, the O, not the big O, just the O. These mobile suits look fucking amazing. Plus, you have to love Haman's mobile suit, the Cubile. This series has some of the best mecha designs ever. And the spaceships look damn good too, like the Argama, the Dogo Skier, the Jupitris, and the Guadon. Zeta Gundam has amazing mechanical designs overall.
Good luck, Lieutenant.
Keep the Argama safe for us.
I will.
Lower. But sir, we're exceeding our safety limits. Lower!
I really wanted to do this.
We have her, sir. Increase altitude. Let's get out of here.
I also like how there are various factions in this series with their own motivations. The AEUG, which is always fighting the Titans and preventing them from committing atrocities, ultimately has the goal of convincing the Federation to drop their Stormtrooper squad and move humanity into space. The Titans, ostensibly set up to deal with Zeon remnants, are really a force for subjugating the colonists and crushing movements for independence through terrorism. At some point, the Titans even team up with the Zeon remnants, showing how power-hungry they are. The Titans subsume the whole of the Federation's military forces. The Axis Zeon, who've been ruminating outside the Earth sphere, have returned to reclaim the Principality of Zeon and set up a new Zabi family dictatorship with Minerva Zabi as its leader. Obviously, with Haman Karn as its regent, she would be its true leader, as Minerva is still a child at this point. The Axis Zeon will team up with whoever they think they can manipulate easier. However, by the end of the series, it becomes a three-way battle between all factions. I find that interesting, that these factions are more complicated, and the situations with them likewise complicated, compared to the simplicity of the original series.
Shar, drop your weapon.
Come on.
You've always been quite the actor. But if you decline a role in my show, this may be your final curtain call.
No, because you see, there's another actor.
Huh? He's quite welcome. This kind of melodramatic scene seems to be right up Shirako's alley.
There are so many great scenes in the 50 episodes of Zeta Gundam. Every few episodes there's some major new development that turns things on their ear. And with the compelling characters I mentioned last video, it makes for some of my favorite anime scenes. There are some spoilers in the following parts, so watch out. For instance, there's a fairly early scene with Quattro and Emma on a dead colony that was previously gassed by the Titans. We see the devastation the Titans' actions caused to innocent people.
Think of Newtypes as superhumans with extra powers, and they're afraid that one day they'll even become the ruling class on Earth.
Can people commit mass murder for that reason alone?
Of course they can. Some people take lives for a small amount of money. Basque's decision makes much more sense than that.
You're lying!
Huh?
In another scene, Kamille, Quattro, and other AEUG pilots descend to the Federation Forces HQ in Jabro. I like seeing these large-scale multi-MS battles, where there's so much chaos. And it's a location from the original series now seen in a slightly different way. This time the protagonists are the invaders rather than the defenders. There's a part where a monkey gets blown up too, which is unique.
You're fighting on my territory now. You did that?
One of the classic scenes of the series involves a reunion between two key characters. Previously, Amuro Ray had been out of action for a long time until he was chastised by Katz, who was disappointed in his hero. Amuro ends up ramming a plane into a Titan's mobile suit and getting rescued by Kamille. While in the hands of the Mark II, he once again encounters his previously arch-nemesis.
シャアだ。しかし間違いない。アムロ・レイだ。シャア。I was right. It's Char.
There's no doubt about it. It's Amuro Ray.
Char.
The Hong Kong arc has some memorable moments. Most of them revolve around the cyber Newtype, artificial Newtype, for Murasame, and the behemoth mobile suit, the Psycho Gundam. In one scene, Kamille, taking on what just seems like a large mobile armor, discovers just what a dreadful machine he's dealing with. The atmosphere of terror is palpable.
It's changed.
No more fooling around.
Another scene in the Hong Kong arc features Kamille and Four out on a date. They both realize they're on the opposite sides of the current conflict, but neither seems particularly bothered by it for a little while. Four explains that her name comes from being the fourth test subject at the Murasame Newtype labs. She laments that she has no memories of her past, to which Kamille counters that she can start from that day to make as many memories as she wants. Unfortunately, all good things come to an end.
Kamille. This is the same feeling I had then. Could it be Kamille?
It's more than just the uniforms. The AEUG would never do this.
The Titans will take any extreme action to crush the rebellion against the Federation. One of the Titans' commanders, Jamaicon, leads a colony drop operation that targets a city on the moon. The AEUG has to activate a pulse engine on the colony that is normally used for moving it to throw it off target. Emma and the Gundam Mark II takes on this task.
The colony's course has changed, sir.
What is Yazan doing?
They're returning, sir.
We can't change the direction again. We failed.
Thanks to the pressure we applied with our guns and Lieutenant Emma firing a thruster, we changed its direction, hopefully enough.
Right.
Infiltrating the Titans base on Kilimanjaro, Kamille is reunited with Four, who he thought had died. The two are happy to see each other, but unfortunately Jared Mesa is also there. Kamille seemingly dispatches Jared, but the lucky doofus survives. Later, when Kamille is engaged with trying to snap Four out of a hypnotic trance, Jared returns for revenge. Tragedy befalls the star-crossed teens.
Kamille, it's over.
Jared!
Stay back!
Perhaps my favorite episode of the series, Day of Dakar, is what I consider the beating heart of the entire thing. Quattro/Char takes control of a Federation government session in Dakar while the AEUG and Karaba fight the Titans outside. He introduces himself as Casfall Rem Daikun, son of the namesake of Zeon, Zeon Daikun, and expresses his desire for mankind to leave the Earth to recover. Kamille convinces the Titans pilot to tune into the proceedings. Of course, Jared comes along and he doesn't give a shit about speeches or his own colleagues. But hey, I liked the speech.
From the dawn of history, mankind has played in this cradle called Earth.
But now, humanity must leave the nursery behind. Our infancy has come to an end. Tell me why, at this turning point in our history, must we fight amongst each other and further pollute the Earth?
Having turned traitor and joined the Titans, Rekkoa is forced to watch as her new colleagues commit heinous crimes against humanity. In one case, she is witness to the use of the Grip's colony laser by Bascom, who destroys a colony with it, killing hundreds of people. In another, she is ordered to lead a gas attack against another colony. Normally, the AEUG is able to stop the gas attacks before they start, but this time they didn't arrive on time, and all the colonists die a horrible death. Scenes like this show the horror of war crimes.
What's this?
When Kamille squares off against Haman Karn in combat, a strange new type phenomenon occurs. Not unlike the visions Amuro and Lala have in the original series, the two pilots begin to see people they know as they float in open space. The new type energy from the two of them combines, with Kamille believing that people can truly understand each other. But Haman violently rejects this phenomenon, furious at Kamille for the presumption. Kamille pleads with the Axis Zeon leader to stop fighting him because they might be able to resolve their differences, but Haman isn't having it.
No, don't! We really might be able to understand each other! If only things were a little...
Silence! You are no different than Char. You certainly do have some amazing abilities, Zeta Pilot, but I can never forgive you for your presumption.
In another showdown, Kamille is the angry one, fed up with Yazan's wanton cruelty. After all, Yazan just killed 2 named characters in a row. His rage and his new type power is channeled through the Zeta Gundam, and it glows with some kind of barrier that Yazan can't shoot through. As Yazan attempts to escape, Kamille condemns his behavior, as his anger reaches its pitch. The Zeta Gundam then does something which you have to see. And then there's the conclusion, which, well, you can see some of it in the opening credits of this video, so I guess I already kind of spoiled it for anyone who's never seen it. But it's a great finale, one of my favorites in anime. It's sad but fitting, and there's a hint of triumph to it, even though the victory is bittersweet at best. And sure, it leads to a lighter series, Double Zeta, which continues the story in many ways, but I feel like it can also stand on its own. It might be a to-be-continued ending, but to me it's also a grand finale.
I see. You want to go back to the Argama too.
And that brings us to the compilation films, Zeta Gundam: A New Translation. They're... well, I have to cover them in order to do a real rundown of the series. They're not like the original series trilogy, at least not in quality. Okay, so they are somewhat like the original series movie trilogy. The Zeta movies are a trilogy too, coming out in 2005 and 2006 in Japan, 20 years after the TV series premiered. Like the original series trilogy, they're compilation movies, taking episodes and combining them into 3 separate portions. Only this time, there's a lot of new, modern animation done for the movies, mixed in with the 20-year-old animation. And that's as messy and awkward as you think it is. If you think that's messy, think about this. The original TV series had 43 episodes and each movie of the series was over 2 hours long. Zeta Gundam has 50 episodes, and each new translation movie is 95 minutes long, which means tons of story, important story beats, are excised entirely. I mean, they cut out the Kilimanjaro episodes and even Day of Dakar. Day of Dakar, for fuck's sake, the heart of the series. Worse yet, they changed the ending to be happier. Changing the ending to a happier one is a huge loogie to the face. Zeta Gundam's ending is a classic dark, tragic conclusion that fits the overall tone and themes of the horrors of war and the sacrifices made for a burgeoning generation to prosper. But no, Tamino, now in a happier place, wants to make everyone smile. Big T, no offense, but the new ending was a huge mistake. In fact, the whole movie trilogy was kind of a mistake, except maybe to show that people were still interested in Zeta Gundam 20 years later. Oh, and the new music by the original music composer Shigeaki Sagusa. Not that compilation movies of Zeta couldn't have worked if they were longer and used either completely old animation or completely new animation. Oh, and didn't change the ending. Then they could have done a double Zeta trilogy. Zeta Gundam is an amazing show, but it is not a perfect show. Even Zeta Gundam has a few flaws here and there. One of the reasons why a Zeta movie trilogy could have worked is, let's face it, there's a bit of padding in the show. Not tons, mind you, but sometimes you get tired of witnessing the same argument between Kamille and Fa, or the same hide and ambush battle tactic. And do we really need so many trips to the moon? Some of the characters can be a tad unsympathetic. Rekoa aside, there's also Cats, who can really strain the viewer's sympathy. Sarah varies. And it doesn't help that the English dub is lousy. I'll go more into it in my mid-year video, but the English dub done by Blue Water is incredibly stiff and bored-sounding. I've been trying to sell you on this show mostly through dub clips, but do yourself a favor and watch this in Japanese with English subtitles. Anyway, despite its few flaws, Zeta Gundam is an absolute wonder of a show.
The people who need to be removed are the ones whose souls are dragged down by the Earth's gravity. However, even that cause doesn't justify killing so many people.
Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam has a compelling, complex storyline, interesting, charismatic characters, and solid mechanical designs and production values. If the original series is good because it explores the horrors of war, features a stern, and unfortunately still relevant, warning against fascism, and hopes for the awakening of a new era for humanity, Zeta Gundam is the furthering of those themes, but with a more complicated, elevated approach. The show is a true evolution of the Gundam concept. Sure, the dialogue can be a little clunky and the runtime padded, but it certainly deserves its accolades. So watch the original series or the movie trilogy, and then watch Zeta Gundam. The TV series, that is, not the movies, those suck. Well, I think that about covers Zeta Gundam. It was a long time coming. I'd really like to get to Double Zeta at some point, but there's some obstacles. I hope I can come up with another Gundam title to review sometime soon. Anyway, that's enough Otaku Evolution for now. Next time we'll be looking at a TMS property. Well, I might have to fire up the old Daily Motion page. Until then, see ya!
I'm listening.
Who's that person in the sunglasses?
That's Lieutenant Quattro of the AEUG. He's in charge of this operation. What is she afraid of?
Religious? Dump the bitch! I am not dumping the woman I love just because she's religious. Pfft. Then good luck playing second fiddle to her imaginary friend for the rest of your life. You know, plenty of religious people have marriages that work out just fine. Yeah, because both parties are equally delusional. You aren't even religious. Spiritual. Spiritual! Look, I'm not going to take relationship advice from someone who, in 41 years, has not had a serious romantic relationship. Ouch. Well, good luck with your mutually delusional lives. Don't count on me to go to the wedding. Are you going to tell me that after all we've seen and done, you don't believe in any kind of higher power or supernatural force? I don't believe in things. I have confidence. What do you have confidence in? I have confidence in sunshine. I have confidence in rain. I have confidence the spring will come again. Besides which you see, I have confidence in me. Yes, sir.